People tend to change behaviours by some personal experience, something that happens to them or they see, and they realise the effect it can have on their life or perhaps a member of their family. Communities are the powerhouse of change. The more people that we can gather to move in the right direction, the more likely we're going to have a stronger voice to affect systems change. Because eventually it's systems change connected with those nudges to individual citizens that will make the biggest impact, really. And for people to understand we are in a crisis.
There you go.
There you go, sir. At Foundation Scotland, we do feel a responsibility to take action as best we can on climate. Given that we are Scotland's community foundation, we needed to stand up and show our credentials on what we're doing, both internally and on funding. And whilst we're not a huge foundation, we wanted to play our part in making that difference. And as an organisation, we decided that we needed to look inside ourselves as well as out to the communities that we support. We wanted to make sure that all our staff and all our trustees, in fact all the volunteers gathered around the foundation, really understood the issues well. And so when we start to focus on funding or focus on our own operations, that we would understand the basic science behind climate change. We wanted to be deliberate that all of our funding would ask the people seeking funding, community projects, around anything that they can do around climate action.
That's a big one. That is a big
And one of the things we see is some projects are set up more about, for example, reducing social isolation. But interestingly, by people coming together for community growing, actually they are reducing the carbon footprint because food is not travelling as far, right?
Get back. What's that?
Projects such as one in Aberdeen, which is all about redistribution of food and ensuring that food is diverted from landfill, whilst actually that's all about food for people and it's supporting food banks. So it's interesting how social justice, to some extent, reducing social isolation and reducing our carbon footprint are also interconnected. Rather than thinking, well, can we distribute more of our funding under the banner of climate, we would rather, being climate smart, was right across all of our programmes. Even if it was the smallest grant programme and just asked a single question about what is it you're doing around climate that would make a small difference in your community, but potentially, if everybody was doing this, would make a big difference in Scotland. So one of our great opportunities, but also we think a responsibility of Foundation Scotland, is to be on that learning journey with our donors. Because of course they might be interested in funding musical education or a youth work programme or early years development, but all of those initiatives can be climate smart. So if we can get that message across, even in a small way, about being climate smart, somebody else in that community will pick that up and understand, oh, so our community hub uses ground source heat pump or uses a solar panel, or maybe it goes from recycling to actually upcycling some old timber into new furniture, or whatever it is. And so that message will keep rippling out. And playing it back to us, we feel we have that responsibility, given we have that kind of reach. And so yes, we do need government to be doing the right thing, but we think from ground up we can make a real difference, a real impact on climate change. Actually, when you see a whole community take action and build its own primary school, or build an energy scheme, or maybe more simply gather community citizens to make some new decisions so they become empowered to be the powerhouse of their community, seeing that kind of collective action. That gives us hope for the future, that communities will thrive and will flourish. People can make change and people can make a difference. And then when I see that and experience it firsthand, whether that's doing some organic planting or just having a conversation with somebody about their project, I mean, it's kind of life-affirming that people can make change. So that gives me real hope for the future, that collectively we will make the difference that's needed.